A new wave of Jamaicans were on Wednesday deported from the United Kingdom. This is since the last mass deportation of 42 persons in September 2016. Large police buses drove the deportees to the Mobile Reserves Unit in Kingston, while onlookers stood by to watch. According to the National Security Ministry, all legal avenues of appeal in the UK have been exhausted. The ministry said the returnees have no legal rights in the UK and that the government of Jamaica is therefore obligated under international law to receive its nationals on their return. Speaking at a press briefing following the arrival of the deportees, Assistant Commissioner of Police responsible for Area 4, Devon Watkins, says all is in place to ensure their reintegration into society.
Among the agencies that are currently facilitating that process are the immigration authorities through PICA, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, some NGOs, some of whom will see to the welfare issues of persons who are not able to readily make connection with their resident family members or may have been out of touch for some time. There are facilities in place to accommodate them through some of these NGOs. A representative of the British High Commission also engaged in the process, that they facilitate some support for the smooth reintegration of our nationals.
Meanwhile, Jamaica's opposition has expressed concern about the latest set of deportees from the United Kingdom. That's according to its opposition spokesman on foreign affairs, Dr. Maurice Guy.
The concern the opposition has is primarily two from the point of view of the UK. One, can we determine that they're actually Jamaicans who are being deported? And that particular concern arose out of the fact that some years ago, another nationality was deported to Jamaica, thinking that he was Jamaican. So we're just concerned that, we want to express our concern that the authorities, Jamaican authorities, have done their due diligence to ensure that only bona fide Jamaicans are being deported to Jamaica. Secondly, news has come out of the United Kingdom that persons who are on that flight are also persons who have filed appeals prior to 2014, and those appeals ought to be heard in the United Kingdom as opposed to subsequent legislation which speaks of the appeal being heard outside of the UK in the country of origin of the individual. And it has been brought to our attention that there's at least one person known who has appeal pending in the system and is to be deported. And it is our view that that appeal should be fully exhausted, contrary to what the Jamaican government statement said, that the appeal process for all have been exhausted.
He also says the opposition has concerns if the government will really help in their reintegration.
From the point of view of Jamaica here now, we are concerned that despite the fact that the Ministry of National Security in their statement indicated that Jamaica Constabulary Force, a representative from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and an NGO sponsored by and funded by the UK High Commission in Jamaica will be meeting these persons. Are they just meeting the persons and then they are just allowed to go? Last year in September, we had over 40 persons who were deported. Concern we had then and still do now is whether the government has put proper processes in place for the reintegration of some of these people in the Jamaican society, having regard to the fact that last year, and I have no doubt that this year as well, some of the persons who were deported were persons who have been living in the UK for upwards of 15, 20 years, who might no longer have any relatives in Jamaica. Having been deported, what is their status? Is it that the government has a halfway house that is going to monitor, accommodation and subsequently monitor the progress of these people being reintegrated into Jamaica? Who is it to say that John Brown, who was deported last year, is gainfully employed, or is now a current liability to the state, or possibly, God forbid, has become a criminal who is wanted by the police? We need to know that there have been a proper tracking of these people, so that if the government now says that last year, based on what we have done, we are now prepared to accept the 100 plus who are coming in today, and these are the measures that we have put in place, which have reaped success based on last year's experience, then I'm sure the country will be comforted by that.
Meanwhile, a relative of one of the deportees spoke to the media Wednesday following their arrival.
My brother, Francois Somers. He was there from about 8. Yeah, I'm around 22 now, so you can do the maths and you get it. So they're deporting him. Tell me how you feel about this whole situation. The situation, I don't really feel no way about it, because remember, I for them country and I for them right, so I don't really know how the immigration system stay, so I have to just work with what them do. You know what circumstances led to him being deported? No, not really. Maybe between the young and naive and never really know the right, so he never get a criminal case yet, but he just a dip him. What's your greatest concern with him not being here for so long and coming back into Jamaica? He don't know Jamaica. Yeah. He don't know nothing, no money, nothing at all. Nothing he don't know. No streets, nothing at all.